Hello. All right, I didn't really know how to start this video, but I don't know, I guess you'll probably learn a lot from why I haven't really been posting much. And I'm just gonna give you a bit explanation of what has been going on in my life, projects behind the scenes. So you're gonna get a lot of top secret stuff in this video. And by the way, the camera's being held by a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12. How old do you want to be? So if it's terrible camera work, actually it might be really good. Let me know how it looks. And then if Mitch, my actual cameraman, if you're watching, yeah, tell him how bad he is. Anyway, all right, so first things first, actually, this is why I haven't posted a lot and why I'm in this shed at home. I have moved workshop. You may have seen my April Fools. Yeah, moving to America. I wasn't moving to America, but I took advantage of moving out of the workshop to basically play that prank on you. But I have finally bought myself a property with a shed and a bit more space so I can get out of that commercial workshop area and have my own room and do what I want and not be told what I can and can't do. And paying rent money is just no good. At least it's something I own and I can grow into. So that's what's been happening, but there is a bit of an overlap between the settlement and when I had to get out of my lease at the workshop that we previously were at. So I've got a few weeks kind of in between where I'm stuck here, and that's why there's a lot of junk in it. Anyway, let's come and have a look. Oh my God, what are we gonna start with? Okay, so this is the Chevy you may have seen here and there on Instagram. I've really kept it kind of top secret, and it is, I've missed having a muscle car for so long, and I saw this thing come up, big yank tank. It's like 5.5 meters long, massive 9-seater. And the plan was to restore it. It's left-hand drive, it's fully American, it got imported. I bought it from Adelaide about 2 years ago, wheeled it in here and haven't even touched it. Haven't opened a door on it. Apparently under the back carpet, there's like all the steering rack components, headlights, everything. I haven't even looked at that yet. So it's just sat here, but the plan is to do like a retro build on it, put a big block in it, bit of a skig pig, bag it, dump it, tub it, all that kind of good stuff. So that is the muscle car build coming up, which I've been meaning to do for a couple of years, haven't quite found the time. So that'll be coming soon. Essential tools are in here. Otherwise, everything else, all the workshop stuff and important equipment, specialty stuff is in a C container at the new property. So I do have that there ready to move into, and I only kept the essentials here. Obviously I couldn't fit the hoist in here and any other bits and pieces. Canopy is in here, so I've jacked that off because the ute is kind of the runaround, because I ended up having to sell the Mustang to buy this property. I know, adult life, paying a deposit is a lot of money. So dailying the patrol, took the canopy off to make it a bit easier to drive, less fuel, use it to put junk in the back. When we were moving out of the workshop, I use it a lot to like put stuff in and move it around. Jet ski, this thing has been the biggest pain in my butt, and I'll tell you why. Last trip to Morton, all 3 engine mounts decided to crack, or not crack, they actually split in half. The whole motor lunged forward an inch, and the output shaft was like seized to the crank, and it destroyed the thrust bearing, basically destroyed the motor. So I did kind of film a bit of a video on this. I started doing it because it's a motor build. I mean, I know it's a jet ski, but I am rebuilding the engine right down from the block, pistons, rods and everything. So I thought I'd do another build video on that. And literally today I got back the head and block, oversized pistons. So there was just a bit of delay with all that machining work to get it in ready to rebuild. So that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do while I'm in the shed at home, bit of room, get the ski back together and finish that video. So that's why there's been a delay on that one. Out here, the 80s in here, the 80s not doing too bad actually. See, the problem with this, it's pretty typical. The Patriot twins will know about this. Once you finish a car or get it running on the road, you kind of just start driving and then forget to finish everything else. So that's sort of what's happened with this. So there's a lot of little things that I needed to finish and didn't really get around to because it ran and I just kind of started using it. Interior's not too bad. A couple of things to finish off. I've been having some drummers making that fit because of the suede. There's just a bit of a thing. Interior is the other big thing. Let's look in here. The 80's pretty much done. Look, I'm not gonna lie. We put the mattress in it. You're not gonna be able to reach up here because you're like kind of short. Got these bits of perspex made. So ideally I was always meant to kind of light the back of that up so it kind of lights up, and then get these panels back in. And where the door was, I need to get some sort of interior piece made for that. And I'm thinking possibly a drop down or wind up guard between where this mattress is and the front seats. Because when I do have stuff in the back, even these boxes, the MaxTrax recovery kit, some rims, they fly forward when you hit the brakes. So it's just a safety thing. Other than that, drawers, of course, is another thing that I never got around to, because I'm like, yeah, I can just put stuff in there, happy days, but no, it needs drawers. So that's the next thing, sort out a drawer fridge. and actually get it ready for camping. Okay, back to you in the studio. All right, this is another thing a lot of people have been waiting for. Actually, let's go around this side. Okay, this is the Wagon. This is what a lot of people have been waiting for. It is the next build that was meant to be on the channel. And I'll tell you why I haven't dropped any content on it. I have filmed probably 2.5 episodes on it already, but I knew this was coming when we were going to be moving workshop, and I didn't want to risk kind of having that mess everything up, lose bits and pieces, and then not have the content to back up the full complete build. I didn't want to drop a couple of episodes and then have a month or two gap till the last one comes out because I was moving workshop. So I've banked that content away, and it will be coming very soon. It is close. We're at the reassembly stage. All the suspension's in, bodywork's done. It's just putting it back together, and then it's just all the accessories, wheels and tires and stuff, and I'll be letting you know what's happening with that completed build very soon, and it is very exciting for me. Interior is all in bits. That's the next thing I'm gonna do. Like, I wasn't changing much of in here, but it's really just getting all the door panels back in. Look, switches are all done. This thing was already twin locked. It already had the LS. So the motor and drive line's good. I've just made it a good service and make sure it's running right. So I'm happy with that because I built the car properly about 7 years ago when I was a teenager. See, look at that. Junk everywhere. This is the problem with moving. You just have stuff everywhere. The patrol. Righto, so this thing is going pretty good. I have not really done much since the conversion. I need to go through it and just check everything, make sure none of the hoses are rubbing through. I know for a fact the intercooler piping is rubbing a little bit on the bonnet, stuff like that. I have finally bagged the thing. You would have seen that on Instagram, so it's full-time bag, so I can change the height when I add a trailer, add the canopy or something in the tray. That's working really, really well. So no real updates on this. Like I said, it is the daily. Oh, I put a new screen in. This thing's badass. It's the new Polaris screen. It has Apple CarPlay, maps, all that kind of stuff. You can't really see it. Hold on, bump it up there. And you can change the angle of this and make it face whatever way you want. So that's my new favorite toy to play with. This arrived literally today. It's the throttle grenade. If you know what a throttle grenade is, it's basically a throttle controller. And I'll tell you why I've gone with eco. You know what, in this video, let's install this so we can actually do something built, not bought. So I'll come back to this and let you know what it is and why I've used it. But there's one more thing out the front I need to show you. This is the new, well, it was meant to be the new daily, but it is horrible. I'll show you. Look, it's just things like, there's no door handle, so once I get in here, you can't get out again unless you put the window down. See, I can't, can you open it? Can you open the door? Yeah, thanks. So you have to open that window for the door to open, to get your arm out to undo it. This window doesn't even go up, so that's always down. The interior is the most beautiful color I've ever seen in my life. Look at this. What is that? I bought this thing really impulsively. It was like $4 grand, full-time gas motor. I could turbo it, but look, it's meant to be a daily. Look at the tray, it's massive, huge tray on the back. I just want to fix the interior and make the doors work, and then we'll be sweet. But it does run pretty good. I don't even know how many Ks are on it. 240,000 Ks. Okay, that's kind of a lot. Anyway, let's look at the drift car. Now, I always said well, I didn't promise, I just said to you guys, I'm not gonna do any content on the drift car. And I don't really want to. This is meant to be just a bit of fun for me. But we did go to Matsuri, which is the biggest drift event of the year, a few weeks ago. And I did film a bit of a vlog while we're there, but we had some dramas.
What happened, Mr. Drifter?
Look, it's meant to be low, well not low budget, but cheap racing. I blew the power steering hose completely out. That thing exploded. And look, it doesn't have enough power. I've learnt to drift basically, and they did what's called the Driftorama session where they opened the full track up, and I was coming in like fast as like third gear handbrake, like Tokyo drift style. And then you just get back on it. As soon as I hit third gear and plant it, it just dies in the ass. And it didn't have enough power. So being an RB20, I've decided to put an RB25 in there, which is literally the same motor, just a bigger size. So I can use all the accessories, the hot side, the cold side, turbo, gearbox. I just got to change injectors and basically the motor, but all the accessories, power steering, all that I can keep, which should be theoretically a cheap conversion. It should only cost me the price of the motor, and then I reckon I could change it in the weekend. So that'll be coming up, and I probably will film that because it's pretty mechanical. The whole idea of not filming the drift car and putting on the channel is because I didn't want to be working on it. It was meant to be a jump in and drive car, just have some fun on the track. So you may be seeing some 180SX action on the channel very soon because of that. That's pretty much it. Let's have a look at this throttle controller. How are your arms, sore? Okay, before you even ask, the cardboard, because I'm not gonna get comments about that, I throw that on there because it rains and that bonnet has holes in it. And I went on the dyno once and all my, what are they, coil packs and plugs were full of water and it misfired like a prick, and it was because it was full of like 5 liters of water. So I put the cardboard there so it doesn't drown. Okay, one more build that we don't have here, which is I've been working on longer than the Chevy, is been in the build process for probably 2 years. It is my, look, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a show car thing. It's something that I'm hand building, handmade chassis, just out of the box type of stuff. I've been super excited to put this thing together. It's been in my head for like years, like 5-10 years I've wanted to do this, and it is slowly happening in the background. But it's one of those builds that's on and off, waiting on parts, coming up with different ideas, and in between other builds I just tinker away at it. So there's that too, which is not here. That's still half at work, half at the new property, and half in my mind. So you've got that to look forward to as well. Okay, throttle controller. This is the throttle grenade. Now basically what it is it changes the progression of your throttle. So I'm finding the Patrol very laggy, okay? And what I mean by laggy, I mean, it's got tons of power, but when you just cruise around quarter throttle, half throttle, I feel like you really got to dig into it to get it to up and go. Like if you want to just pull out and just take off from the lights with a bit of grunt, you really got to stick your foot into it. And once it goes sort of past half throttle, it almost goes into overdrive. It's like a second turbo kicks in. It just boosts so hard. And I know the throttle controller can fix that. Now there's also another benefit. It goes the other way as well. Instead of giving it more power by the feel, it can reduce that in what's called on here crawl mode. So it'll actually reduce your throttle response. So as you go down to say half throttle, in the conversion in the throttle controller, it'll make the ECU think you're only putting your foot down maybe quarter throttle. So it's really soft, good for rock crawling, especially when you're in low range and you're going up kind of a steep hill and you want to have a lot of control. Now the good thing, there's like a ton of different modes. I haven't even turned this thing on. I don't know what's on there, but I know for a fact you can change individually on each mode. If you go to explode mode with the full power, you can actually dial that up and down. If you go to crawl mode, you can dial that up and down. So if you find the mode you like, but you want to just go that one notch higher, it's a little bit more aggressive or a little bit softer, you can just do it with the tap of a button. So now the reason I went with the throttle grenade, guys, they have been absolutely awesome to me because this is a GM setup, but it was a bit of an oddball one, and they actually custom made this for me. So thanks guys, thank you heaps for that. Joel and Rob, I think it is. Oh my God, I don't want to get those names wrong. What they had to do, it's a GM pedal. It's actually a VZ Commodore pedal, which goes into the Duramax, which is also GM obviously, so it's all the same brand, but they've done the custom plugs now. To put it in, it's super simple. It's literally just like a Y piece. It goes, you unplug your throttle, plug this into the throttle, and then plug your throttle cable to the ECU back onto the other end, and it just tears into the piece like that. And then it's like literally like an iPhone cable, and it plugs into the unit, which you can just double-sided tape, stick onto your dash somewhere and click it through. Now I'm pretty sure on here, the boys have had a little special built not bought mode. So I wanna have a look at that. And then I believe the built not bought mode is like the factory setting. So we can drive around on that. And then I'm really curious to see how this thing behaves with the different modes. So let's do that now, because it's not really much to install. It will literally take 30 seconds and then we'll go for a drive and see my honest reaction to how this thing performs compared to how it used to. Oh, and there's also a code for this, I'm pretty sure. BNB, if you do want to get one for yourself. Definitely worth the money. Any diesel, any dual cab makes an absolute difference. I know the boys run them. Mac, TJ, they've all got them. Check them out. All right, let's get this thing in. Okay, let's see what happens. Does it work? It works. All right, so these are the modes we got. That's an off-road mode, explode mode. Oh my God, real touchy. Go to crawl mode. Look at that. Oh my God, that makes a massive difference. Oh, build not bought mode. I'm pretty sure that's factory. All right, let's go have a play. Alrighty, so we're on BNB mode, which is just factory mode for now. I'm working with the guys to hopefully turn that BNB mode into like a lumpy idle mode, because it basically controls the throttle. You can make it just be like rum, 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 like real lumpy idle, which is apparently very cool to have. I don't know, if you got a muscle car, but dude, a lumpy idle in a diesel would be sick. All right, so it does feel normal. This is good. Sweet, all right, let's go to, this is the coolest thing about this is you can change it on the fly. You just come off the throttle, change the setting, and come back on and you'll feel the difference. Let's go to crawl mode. Now this, wow, I'm like half throttle. That makes a massive difference. Okay, and you can change the aggressiveness of that setting as well. So I can plus and minus from 1 to 9. Wow, that's crazy. I'm really scared to try explode mode. Let's do it. All right, let's go to explode mode. All right. Oh my God. Dude, that is a different car. Holy smokes. That's crazy. This is on off-road mode now. Explodes just too much. Now, I can see, like obviously this is just change. It's not giving your engine more power. It's just changing the way the throttle responds to your foot. So yes, it will use more fuel. I can see a bit of soot coming out the back because when I just touch the throttle, it's like me just jamming my foot on the throttle. So you got to be aware of that. You know, it may labor your engine a bit much if you're not like have a good engine built for that kind of stuff. But for me, it just needed that little bit extra. Now it's just livened it up, barely on the throttle. Look, that is so much nicer. Honestly, I'm like just on the throttle and it drives like it's got power. Before, I'm like, this thing's a bit sluggish until you get up on it. Super stoked with it. If you want to get one of these, I highly recommend one. Use the code BNB. The boys have done an awesome discount for me, so I'll drop a link below if you want to check them out. But it literally changes the way your car drives. It feels like you have a ton more power, and it was definitely needed for this particular conversion. So even all the Duramax guys out there, if you want one, these boys have one now. They have the new kit, they have the plugs because they made this one to suit a patrol with the Duramax. So thanks again, boys. And this pretty much wraps up this little video. I mean, it's just a bit of an update for everyone because there's a lot going on. So that is the reason why I haven't really posted a heap. There's been a few weeks here and there I've missed. It's because my life's in a bit of a shambles at the moment, moving workshop and having all the builds kind of half done. There's literally like 4 or 5 projects, half filmed, half completed at the moment. So we'll get back to the general viewing very soon. But till then, guys, thanks for sticking in with me, and I'm very excited to show you what the new shop's going to be and the new property. But I'm going to keep that a little bit more under wraps just for now until we are there and show you what's going on. But that's a couple of weeks away still. Well, a bit longer than a couple of weeks. Anyway, see you next time. Hello guys, and welcome to Built Not Bought HQ. Make sure to click on the far left to subscribe to the channel. Click down below to see the latest episode if you missed it, and don't forget our merchandise on our website. See you in the next episode.